It's just about 4 minutes gone past the hour of 9 o'clock in the morning time. It's a sound of Classic 105.5 and 105.9 on the FM band, coupled with our sister station, or that's GBN Television, or viewers on Channel 7, Channel 11, and Channel 20 if you're in cable. And good morning also to those of you joining us via the World Wide Web at www.gbn.gd, or you're probably chiming in via our social media platforms, Facebook or YouTube. I'm Joseph Kador, and welcome to another edition of To The Point for today, the 15th day of the month of February. Again, before I get started, I do want to apologize because we did advertise and intimate that we're expecting a representative from the National Democratic Congress, as we've extended invitation to them in the past, but unfortunately we have not seen or heard from them, and we do apologize for that. And as a result, we provide you the opportunity of an open line this morning, giving you an opportunity to share, comment, weigh in on matters of national interest, whatever it is that is of concern to you, an observation, traffic. The traffic is one I know in recent times has been really, I'm asking myself, where are we going to keep vehicles next? That's been an interesting conversation. I know there are folks that's been talking about the conditions of the road, what's happening here we at home, or even asking a conversation of 48 years on as we commemorated our anniversary, 48th year anniversary of independence. You know, we continue to ask ourselves the question, where do we go from here as a nation? Today you get the opportunity to weigh in on whatever that conversation is, that issue that is weighing in on your mind. Today you get a chance to weigh in on To The Point. Reminding you the number in studio to get directly into the studio is 435-2041, or you can post your comments via our WhatsApp portal. The number, same as the studio number, 435-2041. And certainly we'll be engaging you, our viewers and listeners, via the Facebook and YouTube platforms. So 6 minutes gone past the hour, going to give you the opportunity. Somebody called me this morning, while I was on my way, and they were saying to me, JC, are you seeing what's happening on the south of the island with the traffic? And I don't know if it's just me, but in the last couple of days, the traffic seemed to be, I don't know, I don't want to say it's getting, there seems to be a lot of backing up of the traffic in the morning time. But let's go to the telephone line. We have a caller that is live. Good morning, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, Uncle Joe. How you do?
I'm wonderful, thank you. And yourself?
All right. I'm there.
Go ahead.
So I have quite a few things, but I've tried to make two.
Okay.
There's a piece of road this is on the parade, and it's beginning to get very rough. At least they fixed that piece of road not too long ago. But what happened, it seems like the same place where they dug and put up the thing, these holes are coming back there again. It's funny because sometimes it's in the same place where they cover that it's coming back. That's one thing. So I'm calling on the authorities, please, to give us a little patch up as it might be before.
And you say where exactly are you referring?
Parade.
Where
Parade.
On Parade, okay.
One road to go up to the Richmond Hill to Monteloo, and the other one coming up.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that road, they come right up. And then further up to the Laborie road there, when you're going up further to turn in the corner, that piece they're getting very rough too. All right, so that's one. Two, I went to the hospital on Sunday night. I had a pain and it was terrible. I had to go to the hospital. And Uncle Joe, I've heard people talking about the hospital, but I haven't been there for years.
Right.
And one where I'm calling on the minister, Minister Delma Thomas, to take a look to exactly what I'm talking about. The waiting area outside in the back of the building is like outside. And if it's raining, then forget that. Everybody there is going to get wet. And the wall, there's two doors. what it marked, elevator, something, I don't remember. And I don't know if it was white, it get yellow. If it was cream, it get brown. And the dust there is like when you clean your dryer machine, it's like that. And I mean, it's very bad, very, very bad for we to be sitting there and inhaling that.
Right.
No, I must say, there was 2 nurses on duty. No orderly. There was one orderly have to attend to both the emergency and the ward. So when they have somebody to go down, they will have to call her. So it's a long wait. And one doctor, again, while I was there, I'm not saying what I heard. While I was there, they've been calling the doctor for a ward. So the doctor have to go. So you have to wait. And I must say, congratulations to the 2 nurses that I met there and the doctor. They was very good. Regarding the among the both of them and 100 people and everybody, they was very good. I have no complaint about the doctor and the 2 nurses, and not even one in white, you know. So I don't know if these supposed to be white, but they just have regular clothes. I don't know.
Okay.
So in other words, in my mind, they're not a real qualified one, but I could be wrong, because they could just be wearing other clothes. And they sent me to get the ECG, ultrasound, and X-ray.
But when you said they were not in regular clothes, you mean what is it? They were wearing scrubs or
yes,
or scrubs? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know if they were in other uniform, but they just feel like wearing that.
Okay. Because I do know some in some health workers. I'm not sure what is a specific rule of, but I know in some facilities, health workers that the scrubs are already established part of the work attire.
Well, yes,
so that's fine.
That would be so. That would be so, like I said. So I'm calling on Minister Delma Thomas. How much ministers the hospital have?
Well, there is the health minister, and then there is one of the other ministers that's responsible for hospital services.
Minister Delma Thomas.
Yes, I think so.
I wouldn't call on Minister Steele regarding to that because...
But I understand. I think it's a legitimate concern. I mean, I think we've all been waiting in the hospital emergency area for some time. At some point in time, we've been there. And I think it is, in fact, a legitimate
But let me
concern.
tell you, Mr. Joseph, help me to understand, please. Now, this hospital, this building that is there, and I understand it is a hospital, they're building or what is the held up? Why, we have to go through this, and it's bad. Instead of, what is the problem that the hospital, I don't know, what is it, do you know?
Well, I'm not in a position to say I know it is. I've heard different stories, but I'm not qualified enough to speak on it. But I'm happy that at least it's been raised this morning, and certainly it can be brought up for conversation one way or the other with some health official.
No, but I really hope, to be honest, when I tell you it's brutal, but compliments to the 2 nurses that was there.
Kudos to them.
Very well.
Thank you.
And 1 doctor. Thank you, Mr. Joe.
Appreciate it. All the best
Bye-bye.
to you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You see, in the midst of all of our challenges, there's always something to smile about, very often. And I've often said so that I've had my own experiences with the healthcare system. And I've often said that while, yes, there are challenges, there are some officials, health officials, nurses, doctors, that really goes beyond the call of duty to ensure they exemplify what the sort of professionalism that you expect from our health officials. We go back to the telephone line. Classic, good morning. You're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
And how are you this morning?
Wonderful, thank you. And yourself?
Yes, I have a point to make.
Go ahead, please.
What happened? Some people were saying that the government ministers, when they do 2 terms, they get in the full pension, and most of them working for all 30-something years, and they're getting nothing. So I would like to know if the opposition will leave it as that, how they will change it, the opposition. I would like to know, talking about the NDCM opposition, if they will leave it like that, I'll change it because the majority of people saying that. As a matter of fact, they tell me personally that boy, I work almost years. Donkey years, they say. You know, when they say donkey years, I mean a long time.
Right.
And then they haven't received any pension because I have a few by me. I live at St. David's. You know, they say that look, boy, you work so and so time. I said, well, maybe you all been putting in place. That's why you all don't get it. That I told them, but I didn't really tell them deep within my heart why they didn't get it.
Well, I think the conversation, I don't think it's a new one regarding those qualification for pension, and you can always argue, unfortunate,
yes,
it is.
Without cutting you, JC, without cutting you, I feel that what good for the goose, good for the gander. You think like that?
I agree 100%.
Yeah, because
if it's good enough for you, it should be good enough for me.
2 term is very short for pension, but if you're doing 2 term and you're getting pension, those are work donkey years, even cow years, should be getting a pension as well.
And I think we agree. After you,
generally. I generalize that it could happen. So I want to know what the opposition see about that.
Well, I guess you've raised it. I guess it's a question for when they get into power that they probably can raise at a different time. But they were expected to be on the program today, but they're not here.
Yes,
so unfortunately,
because
maybe they would be able to answer that at a later date.
Yes, I just said that they will be on the program. That's why I tuned into you now.
Okay, I understand.
Yes, well, good program, and you have a good day.
Thank you. All the best to you.
Yes, bye-bye.
16 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. It's the sound of Classic 105.5 and 105.9 on the FM band. We go back to the telephone lines. It's an open line forum. Good morning, caller.
Hello, pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning to you, sir.
Listening to the news this morning, I understand a member of the Public Workers Union had to meet with the Prime Minister concerning increments in salary. How, in the name of peace, you could have some people working with government on contract for so many years. How many years it is, I do not know. And the salary is not incremental. While there are others who work with government, they get increment at the end of the year. They've got the 4%. I cannot understand that. How such a thing can be encouraged. There are politicians who are now in government. They went into, even the families worked with government. They got increment at the time they were there. What is this difference now? I cannot understand it at all. People need to have a heart. These people who are working for this length of time, no increment, haven't they to live, haven't they, to help the family in some way, a younger brother, a younger sister, the case may be, and for whatever length of time it is to be just getting the same salary. Why is it that, some people have absolutely no conscience, nothing about them? This is utter nonsense, and I am 100% behind the union, Public Workers Union, whether it's president or whoever is going to confront the Prime Minister this morning on this subject, to stick out that all public workers are working with government, and I'm sure they qualify. They didn't just go in there without any subjects, as the case may be, to have everybody's salary incremental.
So I guess the call again, as it has been for some while, the regularization of those employees, of our government government workers. And it's a cry, an appeal, it's a conversation that's been had by the unions, the GUT, the Public Workers Union. 2-3 weeks ago, I had both presidents on here, and they were lamenting the same concern. But let's hope. I'm not sure about a meeting has been had, but certainly let's hope that they keep up the struggle for the average working class. Thank you.
Okay.
All the best to you. You take care. 435-2041. We have another caller. Good morning, caller. You're alive.
Morning, Joseph, and how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you as always.
Good to hear your voice.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
I want to make a point here for the pavement. Now, like the vendors take up the whole pavement again. We cannot walk on the pavement. There's the people sitting there selling, the load there, the umbrella there, the cars parking, especially the street going down by the pharmacies, Grenada pharmacies there. You cannot walk on the side of the pavement at all because the car walking right on top of the pavement. And the left side of the cars is the vendor selling right there. The umbrella open up, put it on one side. The vehicles coming on the street regular. We cannot walk in the street. We cannot walk till they get knocked down. If you're walking on the side and you can't, where would you walk? It's one side of the pavement. The other side is where the credit union is on the street going by Gittins pharmacies. The other side of the pavement you cannot walk there again at all because they take the whole pavement, they packed up to go inside the place there. And there's no walking place for who going to town to do their shopping. I mean, this is ridiculous. You cannot walk the street in town, they take the pavement again. At time they say no sellers, but no, the whole tongue is vendors. You have them on the left, on the right, and in the center of the street where the cars are passing. Another thing I'm trying to make this morning is about the food. Now, people say you must eat what you grow. You cannot sit down and eat blood and free and food every day. Your children not eating these food. They want macaroni. Macaroni could serve a meal. Breadfruit cannot serve a meal. Blockers and fig cannot serve a meal because it wouldn't make the plate. You have to buy food. We have to import food.
But I mean, just to add to it, when you say blogger or breadfruit and those can't make a meal,
yes,
what exactly do you mean?
It would make a meal, but it wouldn't share for a family. Well, you could cook some fig and blogger on your time. You put some in one plate, the other plate have none. It cannot share.
Okay, but I think what is important, and I agree the whole concept of eating what you grow and growing what you eat. Mm-hmm. I think the challenge that there is that we are traditionally used to preparing these foods in a particular way. So for us, breadfruit, we would either put bread, we steam it, and that's all we do, or put it in oil long. But there's secondary ways in which you can prepare those foods. Bananas. So we're just going to boil bananas, green bananas, or maybe we can make a salad. We can do different things. So while I agree with the point, I just want to add to it that what parents can do is to find creative ways to introduce those foods, to their children at a very early age. And the earlier you do that, so for instance, my son, he's not going to eat breadfruit if I give him just like that. But if I make breadfruit balls, I mash it, I put saltfish in it, and I bake it, he eats it. He doesn't even think it's breadfruit.
Joseph, the little children cannot eat that. I have a little boy, he only eats macaroni and spaghetti. We cannot make that in Grenada. Who could make spaghetti in Grenada?
Well, I guess maybe he was...
These is what little children eat. They wouldn't sit down and eat the breadfruit and the food that we will sit down and the elderly. Because we know about that. But little one have to find how to get
I think we need to change the way we present it to them.
Like macaroni and cheese, they like spaghetti, and macaroni could share a meal for a family.
Okay.
You cook some banana and you put it in the plate. Before you put in one plate, the other plate don't have none. It cannot share.
I don't agree, but I respect your position, but I disagree.
No, you could disagree if you want.
No,
but we must import food.
No.
We cannot sit down and eat what we grow in Grenada all the time because I only eat blood and fig all the time, and I used to eat that when I was a child growing up. Now I get accustomed with I can't eat it no more.
Okay.
I haven't eaten it, but I have to eat food that I will go down my stomach and digest.
Okay.
We want the macaroni for the children and the spaghetti. They like mac and cheese.
Okay.
We have to import the food. Don't say we don't have to import food, and don't say that.
I don't think the conversation was never about
eating what you grow is not. You can't eat that every day.
Okay, ma'am, I understand.
You have to import food, right?
I understand.
And when we don't have no food coming into the country, everybody just buy more, and you have nothing on the shelf. What would you buy?
I understand.
You can go and buy a fan of fig for $5 or 4 grain of fig in the supermarket. You cannot buy these things and then make it too expensive.
I respect your position.
So if you're not getting, the neighbor ain't giving you because they want it for themselves.
Okay.
We have to import food, and we have to remember the children. They are not going to eat the block and the fig and the breadfruit. They want mac and cheese.
Okay.
So we must import food. Okay, Joseph?
Mac and cheese day.
My point to heart.
Mac and cheese day for everyone.
Because what I'm saying is a godly truth.
Okay.
Have a blessed day.
All the 43520. Yeah, and I think we've had this conversation on and on, but I will leave that right there. That's just her opinion. Classic. Good morning. You alive?
morning, Jay.
Good morning, Jesus.
How are you doing?
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, the lady just, I've been listening. I understand what she said, but somehow she don't get the point. And I personally think the thing about it is not about importing or not importing. The thing about it is we should make better use or more use of what we have, all right, and use it in different ways, right? No?
I agree 100%, and there's a point I've been making.
Exactly.
That, you see, what we eat, we choose to eat. What we choose to eat is best a matter of culture and practice. If from day one I grew up and you give me mac and cheese, that's what my appetite, my taste buds is used to. As I grow, that's what you're going to give me. But if as from day one you find nice creative ways to take the same banana and you crush it in a little milk, you put some carrots in it, and you feed them as a smoothie.
And it will even taste better than the mac and cheese, and it is even more nutritious.
Train them to eat it. As I made the point, for instance, there's some people that don't like breadfruit. Years ago, I was introduced to breadfruit punch, and I was shocked because I always thought growing up that breadfruit is just to be consumed.
Exactly, and this is what we have to learn.
Make breadfruit fries, make breadfruit flour, do different things.
Definitely, this is what we have to teach our children. Yeah, the mac and cheese. I mean, there is nothing wrong with it. I mean, in that sense. What I am saying is make maximum use of the things that we have here.
I agree,
because there are so many different ways we could present breadfruit and fig and dashing and yams.
Thank you.
Right? Another thing, there are so many. There are hundreds of different ways. A lot. So this is what we have to. Yeah.
There is a contributor online that's saying you can, of course, and you can make pasta out of anything. Take the same breadfruit and you can make pasta, vegetable pasta.
Look, so, I always remember. I don't know if you're aware of it. When I think a guy in on your same radio station there, some in some African state that taking breadfruit and making beer.
The options are endless. We need to extend our thinking and because we've grown up in a particular way. We can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Thanks a lot, sir.
Right. And this is what we have. This is the line of thought. What we have to engage to teach our children. Teach our children, teach our people, and this is the way forward.
I agree, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Respect, brother.
Just to chime in, that's contributors on social media, and we're agreeing. Anthony Peters is saying, I eat breadfruit pie very frequently, and breadfruit pie is actually quite excellent. It is quite excellent. A breadfruit pie, a breadfruit salad. Why not take the breadfruit, and you may not know it. Breadfruit punch, you cook it, you blend it up with your milk, whatever you want to put in it. Believe me, you may not be able to tell the difference between the actual breadfruit and the sea moss. Take the green bananas. Make a salad with it. Make a pie. Do something. Kids, they would enjoy that which their taste buds have become immune to. If you introduce them to that quite early, that's what they get used to. We go back to the telephone lines. Classic, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kado. Greetings. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you, sir.
Happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. Boy, you hear these contributions from the callers and you understand a couple of things. One, nothing seems to be functioning in this here country correctly. Nothing. Even at the level of so-called, should I say, constitutionally established entities are functioning. But there are a couple of things that stood out to me. One, a caller mentioned a while ago about the inability of people's ease to accessibility on the sidewalks of the St. George's town. Now, that certainly is creating a problem for me because I was planning that within the next month I have to go into St. George's to correct a couple of things I have not been able to over the 2 past years. Means I have to move them out St. George's, things that no one else can do for me. Now, that's created. Certainly, I can see myself running into trouble in St. George's. Therefore, I'm calling on the police to get these people off the sidewalks. It's violating it's a violation of the rights of the people of this here country to accessibility, including people of disabilities, or with disabilities, should we say. They cleaned the streets a couple of years ago, a year or two ago, but if they're back there, now we can imagine. I suffer, and I have rights. There's an article in the United Nations Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities, and I can understand if able-bodied people, be it young or old, are suffering, what would happen to people like me? Is it that nothing can change in this here country? But anyway, I must express my dismay that the leader of the opposition has not come on to, not the opposition, but the opposition party, the largest other opposition party in this here country, given an opportunity to come on to the radio and talk to the people that it's been 3 weeks, isn't it so? Successively, they have been negating the opportunity to come on to talk to the people. I have some powerful questions for this gentleman who's been recently elected as the leader of the NDC.
Okay.
I am concerned about Grenada's constitutional architecture. He, as a lawyer, answered halfway a question I wrote to him last occasion, it was about a month ago. And he hasn't come back to go on answering my question properly. And so I want to throw it, and I know they're listening, and they have to listen to me. Pop up your ears. Pay attention to my question. What is your party's intention relative to the unconstitutional manner in which this country is being run? Because there is nothing you can do to tell me that you do not know that according to the documentation of 2802 written by Nicholas Liverpool et al., a 5-member team established by the government of Grenada to revise the constitution, made recommendation that we should move towards finishing or terminating, the cycle of independence.
Okay.
It is evident, it is there. Joseph Kadu, I call upon you to bring out that document and to convene. I've spoken of it, I hope to do it. Bring out some lawyers and students, including the constitutional gurus of this country. They know who they are, and you know who they are. To bring them out, let's talk about this thing. And to ask once more that a campaign be started in this here country to ask the people at the next poll whether or not, according to the latest theory on on referendum questions, which was extensively debated during the Brexit or prior to the Brexit referendum. There's a new approach to referendum question. Instead of yes/no questions, alternative questions are answered. The arguments are there why it is important that we ask alternative questions. In other words, or. Okay. And to ask the Grenadian people as I end here, do you wish, as a people, wish to continue to live under an imperial order in council of the Queen's most excellent majesty? Or do you wish to write your own constitution through a constituent assembly? Ask the people. Why are you afraid to ask the people? Because it is evident today, we now know that the Constitution of Grenada has never been made into law, yet it is making laws that we have to obey, even through emergency situations and all of that. Why is it they're afraid to talk about this matter? In recent times, they've been talking about our shortcomings in the teaching of our history, yet they wish to put this one under the rug. Such an important aspect of our history in this here country. Down with colonialism, it is just time. I challenge all these constitutional gurus, therefore.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day, will you?
All the best to you. 29 minutes on hour in the morning time. We'll take a very short commercial break. When we come back, we continue to engage your thoughts and comments via the open line platform. And again, we did intimate that an invitation was extended to the National Democratic Congress. They did indicate that they were accepted, they would be here, but unfortunately, so again, we do apologize to our listeners and viewers. A quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Vaccine safety is always a top priority, and this is no different from the COVID-19 vaccines.
The COVID vaccines that we have available are very effective and safe, and it is very important for elderly persons and frontline health workers and other frontline workers to get it, because these vaccines protect you from becoming ill if you get COVID.
As COVID-19 vaccines are approved for use in the general population, monitoring for safety continues. Each COVID-19 vaccine goes through the same clinical trials and rigorous study as with all other vaccines, with the focus on safety and efficacy.
Nothing goes into the nucleus, nothing affects the genetic code of the human. It is a very safe vaccine. This is a vaccine that we all need to take because it will keep us safe.
Vaccines bring us closer. Choose to get vaccinated.
Thank you. Welcome back to the program. 25 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. It's To The Point for today, the 15th day of February. We engage the next caller. Good morning, caller. You're live.
Good morning, JC.
Good morning to you. You're live.
Yes, concerning one of the callers that was referring to what you go what you eat and eat what you grow. I how much years now, 60 something, and I grew up on eating local food as much as I eat the foreign food. But as one caller said, is the way you prepare the food. You can expect to boil green fig and other provision and put it in a plate for young kids. Some of them may eat it because of the culture, because how they grow. But if you prepare it in a proper way, the way you do, green bananas, you can make chips with it. You can make banana salad, the ripe ones. You can make a little punch. You put a little banana. You put peanut butter. You put a little piece of pawpaw. Make whatever milk, whether it's almond milk or the other milk, and do your stuff. Do it. Grate a little carrot in the rice. You put a little lentil piece. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So the children will enjoy it and it will be more nutritious for them. And we'll have a more healthier nation.
Indeed. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you very much.
So that's my contribution.
You're welcome. Thank you. Well, Anna Wagner is agreeing totally, and we agree. Only last week, we literally we had members of the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, and we are addressing the very same issue of the occupancy of inmate persons on the sidewalk, whether it's for the purpose of vending or for the purpose of idly standing there loitering. And loitering, it's illegal. And we beg the question, if it is illegal, then it means that we allow that culture of waywardness where we just blatantly. It's culture, and I know it can be a bit annoying. Persons have the rights to congregate in public space, yes, but it can be really, really, really annoying, really, really distasteful. You on the sidewalk trying to get about your way, and people are just standing there idly, or maybe seemingly idle. Let's say that, because they may argue that they're not idle, but. Certainly, we call on the authorities to address those concerns, and it becomes even more tiring given the fact that we have so much more increasing numbers of vehicles on our nation's roads. You literally have to compete. You can't go in the street because there is because of the volume of vehicles, and then the sidewalk it's been compromised. Otherwise, we go back to the telephone lines. Classic. Good morning. You're live.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Good morning.
Yeah. I'm very much disappointed in the NDC not coming on the air about it sort of full time, as far as I know, with the opportunities which they have. I think the NDC need to come out and tell the Grenadians the truth. I, as an individual, I am convinced that the NDC has an internal problem. And they need to tell the people that. When they come out hot and sweaty, come and tell us all kind of nonsense. Who should believe them? Who will believe them? Can you believe them? That's my contribution.
Thank you very much, sir. 435-2041. And on that thing, just to go back, I think certainly we'll probably, and I'll make it we don't do that, make it a matter of duty to get someone, the representative from the Food and Nutrition Council, who I know. I mean, we've had those conversations. And I think, we talk about independence, we talk about breaking the change and the chains and the cycle of dependency. Yes, we agree that, listen, we have varied tastes for different things. But I say to you, we have to change the culture. We have to change the culture a little. Whether or not you want to feed you want to have a little KFC today, but too much of KFC, too much of any one thing is good for nothing. And the only way we're going to address the issue of food dependency is to start appreciating. If you can't consume it one way, I suggest consume it another way. Take the same. Somebody recently, there was a young individual who was actually breadfruit flour and all those different things. Yes, it can be done. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning to you.
With regards to the last caller, asking about why the NDC not on air and about there seems to be a problem, I'm telling he may be the problem. Because the NDC will make the announcements when they are ready and not be pushed by the public. And GBN does not only invite the NDC on a Tuesday. We all know that they invite various persons.
No. This, no, ma'am.
No, Joe. For the
ma'am, the National Democratic Congress.
All you call it inviting other persons besides the NDC.
That is
and
not.
If the NDC, it is true.
Okay,
it is true.
If you wish to have a public,
you about that. You don't think all you dumb Tobias. All you calling different people different times.
If you want to have a public discourse argument on that
program and they didn't send a representative, it means they have things to do.
Okay,
and
ma'am.
If people want to call in and make their thing, GBN should come out and be honest and be truthful.
Be truthful, ma'am. I will say to you publicly that the NDC was invited. We've invited the NDC. They were invited. And they did indicate, last week they had some challenges. They did indicate again to us that they took a hiatus from the program, and they intimated that they would resume. They made a couple appearances, and so we've extended and we've left the slot available to the National Democratic Congress. The same way the slots are made available every Wednesday for the ruling administration. So to say that the GBN did not invite them, that is totally untrue. Totally untrue. 435-2041. It's an open line forum this morning. I'm giving you now an opportunity to share in matters of national interest, matters, anything that's weighing in on your mind this morning. You get the opportunity to share. Classic, good morning. You're live. Good morning, caller.
Mr. Kado, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I beg your humble indulgences for 1 minute.
Oh, go ahead.
Listen, Mr. Kado, over the years and months, I've noticed something, particularly when you were transmitting through radio your programming from the television. Now, a person like me, the screen means nothing to me because I cannot see. Therefore, for me to learn or gather or understand anything coming from a television program, it must be transferred to words. I don't have to see the screen, but I can follow a movie perfectly based on what is said. Your station, a radio station, because I don't have a television, has been transmitting programs, clips, whatever you care to call them, with music, background music, and action on radio, leaving me out completely. It happened even yesterday morning, and I thought I'd comment about it. Now, this is a violation of my fundamental rights according to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities, Article 5. The rights to equality and non-discrimination. And therefore, I throw this out to you, to your management and your major One Caribbean network, that they must seriously consider that when they're doing these things, they're favoring one set of people, those who can see. In other words, those whose oculi or eyes are working, but those who cannot have to see through words. a word to the wise is sufficient, because what happens is a violation of the rights of the visually impaired in this here country. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, caller. 16 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. It is to the point for today, the 15th day of the month of February. Literally, we're in the middle of the month already. What do you imagine? January's history and February, shortest month. It is almost, but it is literally halfway, gone past the halfway point. Classic, good morning, you alive. Good morning, caller, you alive?
Yes, sir. It is really taking Grenadians a long time to recognize that no other political party can survive in this country as long as the ruling one is there. And it seems that they want to be there forever. So whatever is the mode of operation, whatever they're doing to harm other parties in disarray, it is recorded in heaven. It is recorded in heaven. It is recorded in heaven. Though that they're telling those people who are on other political parties, for them to survive and be able to do anything in this country, they must be born again. They must have the Holy Spirit in them. They must know God personally so they can pray and fast and pray that God will save Grenada. Because I always say Grenada is on the brink of a precipice and only one more push. And if Grenadians don't recognize what is happening and they want to play dead and dotish, let them stay there. But it's only prayer and fasting for deliverance could save Grenada. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, caller. 14 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. It's open line forum. We go back to the telephone lines. Classic, good morning, you're alive.
Hi, JC, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Just a bit concerned, okay?
Sure.
I sent a message to you referring to the highway in Mount Gay, and I know you was left in awe. What highway is that? It's a new piece of road that was recently done sometime last year, I think. And it's being used so ridiculous, okay, because the traffic has been diverted from the River Road, if you know about that,
right,
to Mount Gay. So we have all different kind of buses running through this. And they are using the road too ridiculous. They're using it as if it's just like I said, it's a highway just for vehicles alone. And there are so many children. We have a lot of children that are always on the road. We have elderly people always walking on the road. So I am wishing this morning, as I am calling to say this, that is somebody who is hearing this, who is connected directly with that. They were supposed to put up sleep bombs. There were signs up that they were sleep bombs to be erected and nothing has been done. So this is just my concerned voice, reaching out to the persons involved to please do something before something happens to somebody up there seriously. Thank you.
Again, thank you very much,
Most
caller.
welcome.
And we can well appreciate that there's the increased volume is a direct result of the rerouting of traffic due to the work on the River Road, the St. John's River, the mitigation project, and certainly traffic has been rerouted. Certainly hoping that the officials can look into the matter and whether or not we could put some relief and address some of the concerns to the callers. 435-2041, that is the number that is on the inside. This person says, I'm concerned about the bus stands, how we can educate the public about the importance of bus stands. Sometimes you can see people standing on seats, eating and leaving their garbage there. We must educate our people on the proper use of the bus stands. And not just the proper use of the bus stands, I think people just need to understand some basic etiquette and manners. If you eat, I know if I'm eating, I'm consuming, I'm finished, I find the garbage, I carry my garbage with me. Why do you think it is okay to leave it in the bus shed or leave it anywhere publicly, not just a bus shed? There are proper ways and places for the disposal of garbage. We go back to the telephone lines. Classic, good morning, you're live.
Good morning, how you doing, sir?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
You know, the question that is very simple. You're supposed to respect people, treat them good, and you take care of the ordinary man in the street, and then they would re-elect you. Simple as that. There's a talk on the street that people talking about handout. In Los Angeles alone, they have over 800,000 people homeless. The government giving them roughly about 800 US a month in things with money on a card, they can go and buy stuff, whatever. In this country here, when somebody's poor and the government helping them, people talking about they giving them handout. Well, you must have a population in your country that is poor, and you have to take care of them so they can take care of themselves. There is that. So stop labeling like people getting handout, they shouldn't get it. Because they're people in a country that's supposed to be taken care of, no matter what you do. There's a businessman that's talking about that. I remember GBM played a clip, post his business, and the job was saying, pay the workers better. I mean, that is just focus on. Because if people in the street are saying, pay your workers better, you should know that your business is labeled as not paying workers. So I'm just saying that we need to take care of people that can take care of themselves. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you, sir. All the best to you. It's about 8 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. This contributor on WhatsApp says the police needs to remove the vendors from the sidewalk. It's a bad habit that needs to be stopped. People will go to the market to get what they need. And I know the issue of vending. And I must say, in all fairness to the IGPF, I think in most parts it has been addressed. I must say, some though have moved from the sidewalk to I don't even know. They moved from the sidewalk to the narrow, to the side of the road now. That's a different story. And then there's the issue of just the general loitering that takes place on the sidewalks in the city area. We go back to the telephone lines. Classic, good morning, you're live.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Joseph.
Good morning to you, sir.
How are you, sir?
Wonderful, thank you, as always.
That's nice, sir. Mr. Joseph, with all due respect to you, sir, we are living in a lawless country. The law is for only the poor people and not the people in authority and the hierarchy of them. Put it that way.
Why would you say so?
Why do I say so? Mm-hmm. Because I've seen the poor man, when the poor man do something, they take a hand a figure, bread, food, a blog or something from somebody, them is a thief. But when them big boy do they think, they either doing money laundering or the money disappear and they don't know where you go and they don't hear nothing and they investigating and they don't hear nothing about it. So that's where we live in. That is why he lawless. He only for the poor man, not for the big boys. Thank you. Second one. Mm-hmm. Mr. Joseph.
Yes.
You think it is right that you was farm in poverty, born in poverty, educated in poverty, work in poverty, come out of poverty from work, and go home and die in poverty? You think it is right?
Well, I'm not here to determine what is right and wrong. I think each and every one of us, we have an opportunity to try to change our status, whether it's through hard work, through education, building, saving. So each and every one is an option.
That's right.
And we have opportunities that we should take advantage of.
That's right, Mr. Joseph. But Mr. Joseph, if you work in a place for 40 years, and when you go home with penniless, you have rent to pay, and you may have your land tax to pay, and you have grandchildren, you may want to give something, you have to eat, you have to drink, you have to pay the electricity bill, and you have to pay the water bill, and you don't have nothing to go home with, because how you work, so you live. So you go home. That in poverty, you go home.
Well, that situation, I said, that's unfortunate. I think it is it's disturbing. You can always argue it is wrong. But as I said, each and every one, what I would encourage individuals, though, that we need to start making plans for the latter years of our lives.
That is it.
We need it somewhere or the other.
Yes, Mr. Joseph. Mr. Joseph, if you have a German Shepherd, a Rottweiler, and a Patong, and you're cooking food, you won't give all of them the same food.
Well, I'm not able to.
You won't give all of them the same food because you're cooking the same pot, you know. A Patong and a German Shepherd and a Rottweiler.
But if that's what you have, that's what you have.
Right, you give all of them the same food. So why one set of people plate always full and the other set can't full?
Well, I'm not in a position to determine that everybody's circumstances is different. Some people's plate might be filled because they are working. Some others may not be because they choose not to work. Some are working and maybe they're not being remunerated appropriately. So they're different strokes for different folks as to why some people may enjoy a different type of life than others.
That is why we go into the Bible, The Bible says, little your house shall be taken away from you. The rich would get richer and the poor would get poorer. They wouldn't hold you and take it from you, They go walk you, and when you can't walk no more, they send you at home with nothing.
And the Bible says that?
Yes. Little your house shall be taken away from you. The rich get richer and the poor got poorer.
I would leave issues of the Bible for those who are skillful, trained in interpreting the word. I would not go there. But if that's your understanding, so be it, sir. Okay.
You're asking you, please, to anyhow keep a good head.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you. It's about 5 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. We probably have the opportunity to engage maybe with 2 callers or more. Let's just browse through the other social media platforms to see what's there. Again, somebody raising concerns about the loitering on the sidewalks. And last week it was indicated to us by the police that loitering, we all know that loitering is illegal. We go back to the telephone lines, 4 minutes on to the hour.
Good morning, Mr. Carter. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you, sir.
I'll be very good. Why when I listen to the radio and different media houses calling programs and stuff, why I get the sense that only one group of people can lead this country? Why? That's what I'm getting.
And you get it why?
Because what I'm hearing is that every other party that rise up, that is not ready yet, either something with them, they don't hear any plans, they don't hear anything. Yeah? We ask for change, we ask for young people to come in. Young people come in and they say, oh, well, they're too young, or they're too big. Why I get the sense that is only one group of people that can lead this country of ours?
Well, I'm not in a position to say that. If that's your observation, I'm not sure why you get that feeling, but...
Because that's why I get a feeling, because when I listen to our program, most of the people calling and say, look, we don't have no other alternatives, so what we have here is all we have.
Well, I'll say to you, so what I'll say to you in any circuit, in any walk of life, the people that you hear calling may not necessarily always represent what's happening. They are a fraction, yes, but there are a lot of people who may hold different views, who probably may choose not to use this platform to engage their thoughts. So I think it's important to get a true representation of what's happening, that you get a better sampling. Try different things. This is just a sample. It's just a sample.
But it's so sad. It's so sad enough. That's why we really cannot really go forward. We need to go forward, but it's hard to going forward.
No. I think we just need to find a way. We don't deserve better.
We don't deserve. Some people like when you're in a relationship, right? And someone else is there willing to take care of you, but because you find yourself comfortable there, and you are, because of fear, the person that makes you fearful, yeah, that you don't want to take a leap. And you prefer to die in that situation because that is the only person for me.
Well, time will tell, sir. Time will tell.
Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you, sir. All the best to you. Yeah. It's about 3 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. This is as far as I can take you for this on your journey from now. Certainly, I'll continue to be here with you up until 12 midday. To all of our listeners, viewers, everyone that made a contribution to the program, we say thanks for being part of the broadcast. Our viewers or listeners, those that chimed in via the social media platform, we say thank you a million times over. Antonita Peters, Rakbasin, Maria, Alex, Julian Alexander, wherever you are, here at home, across the region, and in other parts of the diaspora. You take care. God bless. Have a great day.